Hey, great Monday evening, everyone. Great Monday evening. It is me once again, Dr. Anissa Short, Conversations with Chosen Pen this Monday night. Thank you once again for carving out time on your Monday evening to hang out with us in this virtual space. Whether you watch us live via Facebook, whether you're following us on YouTube, either way, we appreciate you taking time out to be with us. Now, let me go ahead and tell you something really quickly because the holidays are here. I hope you and your family had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as we know, just by the time we get finished eating the leftovers and take a deep breath, it's time to eat food again, right? Christmas will be here soon. And so, in light of that, we are giving our staff, the entire Chosen Pen staff is going to be off the 19th, the week of the 19th, or better yet, the week of the 18th of December through the end of the year. We will be back with our broadcast on the second Monday in January. So, in the meantime, we hope you don't miss us. If you begin to feel the urge to hear from us, then just go to YouTube and watch some of the previous recordings, okay? So just keep that in mind. We're going to continue with our conversations regarding literacy, childhood literacy, literacy in general. We will be covering that up till our holiday vacation for the Christmas season. So I wanted to let you know that in advance. And guess what, you guys? By now, you probably have already noticed. Dr. Norma is back. Yes, she took a hiatus. She was all over the place doing a whole bunch of other stuff. She left me alone for 2 or 3 weeks, but she is back in the space with us for the podcast. Welcome back, Dr. Norma. How does it feel?
I feel amazing, and I'm so happy to be back. I dearly missed you because, of course, I have to give Miss Anissa her kudos because she always does an excellent job. I tell her she has the gift of gab, the gift of conversation, so that's why she's always leading conversations with Chosen Pen. But I did miss you while I was gone. I had some exceptional experiences while I was out and about, and I'm sure we'll share some of those with you as we go about even this evening or sometime later. But I'm excited about all the things that we're doing here at Chosen Pen, and we look forward to having all of you to join us in several of these activities and events that we are planning. And as I'm sure Nissa will explain to you about our trips back to Africa and to other places that we would love to have you join us in gathering books for our literacy program, because we have adopted a school there, and we're doing the library at that particular school. So we're looking for all types of books, and I'm sure she'll address that a little bit later. But right. I'm happy to be back.
Welcome back, Dr. Norma, and we will share more information. Just stay tuned, stay connected. Follow us on Facebook, Chosen Pen Publishing on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that way you're made aware of what's going on. We also are on Instagram. A lot of exciting things are on the horizon. You don't want to miss any of our 2023 plans. So with that being said, guess what else? We have another phenomenal author with us today, Miss Olivia Jones, all the way from the state of Mississippi. Isn't it? I just love this virtual space. We all can be together, cross county lines, cross state lines. We can even cross the water and look like we're right in the same living room. Hello, Olivia. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's just jump right in. Olivia is an educator. She has also authored children's books. She wears other hats. Olivia, what juiciness would you like to share about yourself this evening?
Well, as you stated, I am from the great state of Mississippi. Grew up right here in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm an educator. This is my 9th year being a certified educator, early childhood. I love it. I love it. I'm a mother of 2, a wife, a daughter, sister, aunt, cousin, everything. I wear many hats.
I see. So tell us a little bit about childhood education, early childhood education. You say you love it. I don't doubt that at all because I know a little bit about you. But tell us why you love it and why you feel that early childhood education is so significant.
It's funny because I've wanted to be a teacher since I was a student. Even growing up, I would bring books to school to give out to other kids. And I don't know, thinking back, I guess it was kind of weird. But I just always loved education, and I love literacy. I love reading. My father instilled that in me. So I love books. Of course, being an educator, I teach a little bit of everything, but that literacy is really has my heart. In high school, I went to they have a career development center here in Jackson, Mississippi, and that's where I went for early childhood. So even in high school, I went to the University of Southern Mississippi and graduated there with a bachelor's in child development. Then I went and got my master's in reading literacy. So I'm all about literacy, but particularly early childhood, because just like anything else, if you catch it early, or if children have those experiences with literature early, then it's gonna set the foundation for them to just grow. And in hindsight, in the opposite of that, if they lack those experiences with literacy and language and everything, then it creates a deficit. And so then when they go to kindergarten and first grade and second grade, the teacher is steady trying to give them that foundation that they missed early on. So I'm really passionate about early childhood because it's like I'm the foundation. To me, I feel like I have the most important job in the world, setting that foundation for them.
That's good. That's good. You have something in common with Dr. Norma. Dr. Norma is an educator, former educator. Of course, at the collegiate level, she was in that arena, but she and her husband decided to start an academy. So, Dr. Norma, tell us a little bit about your experiences and how what Olivia has stated resonates with you.
Well, you know that I'm all about literacy, especially in the early years, because we know that from preschool through third grade, if students don't get it by then, they're probably not going to get it. That foundation is so important. Unfortunately, we have a lot of our teachers who are not prepared to help them at that era. And so one of the things we do at our school is just try to make sure that we have the best qualified teachers that we can have in our preschool, in our 4-year-old program, our 5-year-old program, and especially first through third grade. We try to put a capstone person in there in that third grade to ensure that student is reading at the third grade level. And if not, where that student has deficits, so that we can try to address them prior to them moving on to independent learning, independent reading in the 4th grade and beyond. So I'm excited to hear you say that. And I'm also excited, do you do any type of curriculum development for early childhood? We've been looking for some things such as that, especially for have us represented in the curriculum. Because of course, the best curriculum that we have right now, we use, but it doesn't, it has some representation of us in the book, which is the Becca curriculum, which is the best curriculum supposedly in the world, but we still don't all have one of the best representation of color, of people of color in that.
Unfortunately, I'm not in the curriculum, but I am. That is one of my goals, to get into the curriculum and kind of, either sit at the table with others or eventually kind of create my own.
That's excellent. That's excellent. One of the things that we're especially excited about with Chosen Pen in partnership with Forgiveness Across Borders is the initiative we have with first adopting a school in South Africa and donating books to the students there, because first of all, they don't have adequate supplies. They do an exceptional job considering what limitations they have with regards to materials and things of that nature. So in our endeavor to adopt a school, one of our first initiatives is to build a library. And one of the things that we're endeavoring to do is to make sure that the books that we supply them with have representation, so that when the children grab a book, they see characters in the book that look like them. That makes a difference. That makes a significant difference. In addition to that, with the trip in March, when the team goes back to Johannesburg, they are now creating curriculum so that they can work with the children over a 2-day period. So we're excited about that. We're excited about that, not only because of the impact that we believe we're going to have an opportunity to make, but because we get to bring people with us, whether they go with us literally or figuratively. So Olivia, Can you get excited about the possibility of your books being in a school in Johannesburg, South Africa?
That is mind blowing. Yes, that is that. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your books.
Okay. So the first one that I written, it was, all of them are my babies, but your first baby's like, so this was my first baby. I Want a Friend. So it is, my son was diagnosed with sickle cell when he was like about 3 months old. So this one, initially, as a mother and as an educator, my thing was like, okay, I can do so much for him as a, growing up. But when he gets to kindergarten, like that, there was, as a kindergarten teacher, that was just my main thing. Like, what is this gonna look like? So, I Want a Friend is about a little boy who goes to kindergarten, and he's telling his class that he has sickle cell. And so throughout the book, he's just kind of giving them more information about sickle cell, how it look, how it can look, some different illnesses to look for or anything. But along with that, along with bringing awareness about sickle cell, that is, it's pretty prevalent in our community. Not only is it doing that, it's also just talking about being a friend. So even if someone just has the sniffles, how to be a friend. If someone is sad, how to be a friend, and about being inclusive, including others in your play. So that's really it, like I said, it's bring awareness to sickle cell, but it's also friendship awareness as well. And many of the books are they're mainly centered around friendship. So I have My Friend Austin, and that too is about being a friend, and it features a character who has characteristics of autism. Um, and so it's kind of a starting point, not getting too in depth, but just giving kids a little knowledge, and then letting them know whether, like I said, it's sickle cell or autism or whatever. Just be a friend, just be nice.
Right.
And then Gabrielle the Giving Gazelle. That one really is about taking care of yourself. So oftentimes we tell kids, share, 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 share. We're preaching sharing, and that is important. We should teach them to share. But that book kind of tells, okay, some things, you kind of keep for yourself, or some things we can't just give everything away. We can't be too giving, because if you give everything, then you won't have anything for yourself. And so that book, it put a twist on the sharing. Like I said, we still encourage sharing, but just kind of, you don't have to share everything. Keep something for yourself.
That's
I
good.
love it. So
Yeah.
is it 4 books or 5? I know you've written quite
So
a
that
few.
I've written 5. So those three are the really, like the story books, really for, for the children to read or to be read to. And then I have 2 more, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, How I Wonder What You Are. And that one it's kind of a cute little book, and it's about different babies. It features actual real photographs of real babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I took the pictures with that. So I wrote the words and took the pictures. So that's a really, cute book. Kind of, if anyone is expecting a baby, or to read to babies or toddlers. Um, and then the other one is Like the Wind. So it features different dads and their babies. Dads of different backgrounds, and probably dads that you wouldn't normally see in a traditional book, different kinds of dads. So um and that one is saying, like the wind, dad is always gonna be there.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
So your books not only speak to your diversity, but they speak to the necessity of inclusion in a
Yes.
very varied ways. I love that. Lady
Yes.
Norma, any questions for Olivia?
Oh no, because I think we need, as long as we find out where we can get a copy of these books, I can just see them, especially as part of our, not only our disability, but the building characteristics
Mhm.
within our students in our preschool program, and also in the kindergarten through first graders. They can read them hopefully on their own. But I'm really excited about them, and think you've done an excellent job and with sharing them. So hopefully we can help you get them out even more. And then you can also you're an international publisher.
So it sounds like Lady Norma is trying to get your books for their preschool and to take some to Africa.
I
That's what it
love it.
sounds
I
like.
love it.
Okay, so now here's the question that I have for you. We've been talking a lot about literacy. You've already touched on it many times. We stated in our podcast that literacy begins in the womb when the mother is carrying the child, listening to music, reading the child, making sure you have conversations with the child. Um, do you agree with that sentiment? Well, I could tell from your head nod. Yeah, you're like, yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Definitely, definitely. Like I said, being a I teach pre-K right now, but I taught kindergarten for 6 years. And it's sad that some children don't get that vocabulary. They don't get that language. And parents oftentimes they want, well, what can I buy? What can I buy? And you don't have to buy anything. Just talk to your child. If you're at the grocery store, talk about the colors of the food. Talk about the fruit. Name the different foods you see. Okay, this is aisle one, this is aisle two. Count the potatoes that you're putting in the bag. All of that is language and learning. So I tell them all the time, you don't have to buy anything. Just spend time with your child. Just talk and speak to your
Mhm.
child. Even, yeah, you mentioned from the womb. Yes, in the womb. And when I have a 5 month old. When I'm changing her diaper, I'm talking to her. She doesn't know what I'm saying, but I'm building that, eventually one day she will. So I'm just building that. So I tell parents all the time, yes, just speak language, correct English, correct language, but just speak to your child.
Here's an interesting question, and Dr. Norma and Olivia, I like for both of you all to answer this question. And this is one I just came up with on my own. But my first consistent engagement with nurturing a child was my oldest nephew when he was born. He's of course 17 years old now, so he's not a baby anymore. But I remember my mom always, she was his caregiver and during the day until he got to go to preschool, but she read to him constantly. In reading, my mama read with a lot of expression. Every character had its own voice, that kind of thing. So much so that if we tried to read the same book, he wouldn't want us to read it because we know we wouldn't doing the voices right. So he had been introduced to reading and the appreciation of books for a while. Eventually, what happened over time is that he got tablets and start using tablets for reading. And and in me, because I'm kind of old fashioned, I'm like, why are you letting him use a tablet? He needs to feel the pages.
Yeah.
He needs to read the words and sound them out and not have a machine tell him. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about that. Am I just being old fogey, or should we do a little bit of both, or should we? What do y'all think about that?
Well, I will say, based on the fact that a lot of our Black boys have dyslexia, so whether or not they need you to read that to them, number one, uh, because they cannot read it for themselves. Sometimes the computer helps them with breaking down those words and seeing how they see what they're seeing. And you're talking about parents reading and talking to their children. A lot of them don't realize that that child is not seeing the same thing that you're seeing when they're reading, if you are not reading and talking with them. When they're starting calling out different letters or different words, and you would say, now, what did you see? Tell me what you see as opposed to what I'm seeing. So I think that's an early intervention. And based on that intervention, a lot of times there's a lot of computerized programs that help with that, because we have a lot of teachers who are not experienced enough to help bridge that gap. And I think that's where a lot of our, we know that by the time the third grade, if that gap hasn't been bridged, that we know that they use those children who can't read to help build prison cells. So we need to ensure that happens. So that's one of the things that we really, really try to push, because it's okay. 9 times out of 10, if this child is experiencing difficulty in reading. Of course, if he's experiencing difficulty in reading, he's also experiencing difficulty in math and all the other subjects.
Right.
Literacy is the foundation of that. But, and having said all that, to answer your question, I think both are needed. But I think the identification of it, and even with the computerized, that child is so young that child still needs the adult supervision to help them understand where they're going and how to make that leap from this is not a D, this is a B. after you're in the, you're so old, or you expect that when they're younger. But and I'm seeing things differently. I'm seeing circles where you are seeing ovals or whatever. But and I think that comes from spending time. And that's why I say you need both, because if that child is just on the computer, you have no idea.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And the
I follow
computer
you.
cannot pick up on those things. All they're doing is beeping wrong answer, beeping wrong answer, beep wrong
Right.
answer. And
I
the child
got
is
you.
frustrated and never learns to read.
That's good to know. Olivia, I take it based on your nods that you concur with what she's saying, the
Yes.
importance of both parts.
Hmm.
Well, that's pretty simple and put to the point. So then I was right, is what I told my sister, and she didn't listen to me. But I mean, I
Does he
think it's good
enjoy
that.
reading now? Does he read? Does he enjoy reading?
Oh, he does read. My oldest nephew does read, but I remember there being a time as he progressed along, his comprehension wasn't quite there as we thought it should be. And so I told my sister, take him back. You need to read with him
Mhm.
and then ask him questions as he's going along. And of course, I didn't go to school for early education, but some of this just kind of makes sense to me, from that perspective. So I think based on what I'm gathering from what you shared already, Olivia, and then what you just shared, Dr. Norma and Olivia, you agreed to, is that it starts first at home. It starts
Definitely.
first at home. And even once the child begins to start a particular curriculum, whether they go to pre-K, preschool, pre-K, kindergarten, then you still need the parental element
Oh,
engaged so that they in turn will be able to self-assess and be able to partner with the educator on making sure their children get what they need. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's definitely a team effort. It's not the parent. Well, it should start at home, but it definitely can't be all the teacher. It definitely needs to be a team effort.
Gotcha. Well, Olivia, Dr. Norman, do you have any other questions for Olivia?
no, it has been an awesome conversation. So happy to be back to be able to have this conversation. Um, and I think I don't really have any questions. Of course, what else are you putting out in the future? But I'm happy to see that your heart is for the child and for the literacy piece of that for the child, because we know that without that our children are not going to enter into society and be successful, although that success is probably not what we want it to be, but it is still success that our society has deemed that they need to have. And we know that they have to be able to read in order to be able to be successful.
That's true. That is very true. So, Olivia, do you have anything else in the works?
Not currently. My 5 month old is keeping me pretty busy. um, so no, not yet, not yet.
Okay. So tell us how we can get your books. Where should we find you or contact you or get your books?
So all of my books are on Amazon. Um, if you type in "I want a friend," all the other ones should come up. My name is Olivia Jones. So if you type in Olivia Jones, but there is a French author named Olivia Jones, and I don't know how our books got merged or something. So if you see something in French, that's not me. But if it's in English, it's me, Olivia Jones.
Well, look, speaking of that, Olivia Jones, Dr. Norman and I just got back from France about Paris, France. What, 2 weeks now? It's
Oh
been 2 weeks
wow.
ago. So we do have a collaborative relationship with the oldest African American bookstore in Paris, France. And one of the things that we've
Wow.
endeavored to do, the authors that went along were able to take their books and leave them in the bookstore there, had them translated into French and left
Okay.
there. So listen, this relationship, when you get hooked up with Chosen Pen, you hit a gold mine.
Well,
I'm so
yes,
excited.
I'm excited.
I know I'm excited for you too as well. Thank you so much for saying yes to the invitation to be our guest today. And definitely keep in touch. We'll keep you abreast of all the exciting things that we have going on. We host workshops. We host writers retreats. As a matter of fact, we've got a writers retreat that is already underway. The planning is just about done, and if the team will be going to the Dominican Republic and Turks via a cruise. And so there'll be a writer's workshop on the boat and then excursions and all the fun stuff that comes with cruising. But that'll be in February. There's a team of people going to the nation's capital in February. Also, we have a team of people by way of our relationship with Black Authors Matter Tour, Mr. Nico Toogood. with Martha's Vineyard in April. As I said already, the team is going to South Africa in March. So it's a lot of exciting things that has developed, I would say, since September. Is that safe to say, Dr. Norma,
I think September is right.
since September? So we're excited about 2023, about what we're able to do by way of our relationships and collaborative partnerships. But we're also excited about bringing people on with us. It's important to us to be able to help others and to give others exposure as others are helping us get exposure. So, Olivia, you are officially a part of the Chosen Pen family. So,
Thank you.
so if you have not already followed us on Facebook, please do that. Subscribe to YouTube, and everyone who's watching, if you are an author and you live anywhere in the United States, especially if you have written children's books, because that's one of our biggest initiatives right now, to get books to children. We're really big on childhood literacy. Now, we're any children from kindergarten through 18 to high school, actually, but our school is, am I correct, Dr. Norma, through seventh grade?
Seventh grade, preschool through seventh grade.
Yeah, preschool to seventh grade. So we want to make sure that people get exposure, and it will be wonderful to have you not only partner with us and making sure these children get books, but even go with us when we host these trips and excursions and things of that nature. It's going to be business. It's about rolling your sleeves up and getting the work done, but there's always an element of relaxation and fun and that type of thing attached to the excursion. So with that being said, that's tonight's episode, you guys. Thank you again for hanging out with us. Next Monday, 6 p.m., we will be back with another phenomenal author. She's also the author of a children's book. And so don't forget, every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, we are here. Unless, of course, it's the holiday season, so keep that in mind. We're going to take a break for Christmas, and we'll be gone until the second Monday of January. Without further ado, Lady Norma, did I miss anything?
I don't think so. We're excited. There's so much happening. Please jump on board. And if there's anything that we can do for you in the publishing arena, please let us know. Always contact us for any of your needs.
Thank you so much for joining us again. Everyone have a wonderful Monday night.